They didn't come to conquer, they came to erase. And when the stars began to flicker and time unraveled, humanity did what no other species dared. We sent a warning to ourselves. Prepare for a story where memory is our greatest weapon and the future is begging us to listen. Subscribe for more HFY tales of defiance, destiny, and deep space retribution, because in this galaxy, no one learns faster than us.
Ashes of Antares.
They had forgotten what we were. The galaxy, bloated with 1,000 passive species, had long written humanity off. To them, we were curious. Aggressive, yes, but ultimately transient. Another flash in the darkness. The Arcani called us the fast-burning match. The Driel said we were too passionate to last. And the Rinth, wise and slow, simply smiled when we spoke of ambition. But none of them had lived through Antares. Antares 3 had been humanity's dream. Our first deep space colony beyond the Sol expansion belt. 16 million settlers, generations of preparation. Terraformers, engineers, scientists, artists. A cradle for culture, a symbol of permanence, and then the sky fell. No one ever saw who did it. No warning, no demands, just a black arc across the stars. Within an hour, the surface was molten glass, cities erased, oceans boiled. The Vesta array, orbiting miles above, recorded only one frame before it too turned to dust. The council said, unknown anomaly. The Arcani urged restraint. The Rinth offered mourning chants. But humanity didn't grieve. We remembered. 50 years later, the ship returned. It didn't announce itself. It didn't need to. Earth's long-range defense grid spotted it the moment it slipped into real space, just above the ruins of Antares 3. Its hull bent light and logic, no visible weapons, no energy signature, just that same awful silence. This time, we didn't wait. The ESS Vengeance was dispatched, not a scout, not an envoy. A ship built from the ashes of Antares. Forged in orbit over Luna, Earth's finest minds crafted its hull from magneto-fibered tritanium. Its core housed a living quantum reactor, and its AI, Vector, was the first of its kind, a sentient strategist trained on every war humanity had ever fought. Captain Anya Morrow stood at the helm. Antares-born, survivor of the Exodus. Her father had died planet-side, her mother in orbit. She wore her name like armor, her silence like a sword. She stared at the ship on the screen. It hadn't moved in hours. "Anything new?" she asked. Her XO, Lieutenant Reyes, shook his head. Same readings, no change. But the probes, they never even got close. Disintegrated mid-approach. Signature match? Reyes hesitated. It's worse. This isn't just a weapon, it's something else, something outside. Vector's voice chimed through the bridge, smooth, unhurried. Temporal distortion detected. The object exists at multiple fixed points in time. Time travel? Reyes asked. Worse, Vector replied. Time echo. It's not moving through time. It is time. Or a fragment of it. Anya exhaled slowly. Does it know we're here? It knows everything, Vector said. It's been here before, and after. They sent a drone first. One-way transmission. The moment it breached the vessel's invisible perimeter, it vanished. Then came the whisper. Not a broadcast, a feeling.
Anya felt it before she heard it, a pulse in her thoughts. A memory that wasn't hers. A war that hadn't happened yet. Earth burning, moons shattered, space twisted like glass. Not invasion.
Correction. Humanity had reached too far, too fast. Something they'd done, would do, fractured reality. Antares wasn't an attack, it was containment. The object was not a ship, it was a message. From us. They docked. Anya stepped into the ship with Reyes and a small team. No gravity, but no resistance either. The interior shimmered like memory. Hallways that looped into themselves, reflections that didn't match their source. At its core stood the seed. Not mechanical, not organic, a construct of pure possibility, a holographic fractal endlessly folding inward. When Anya approached, it spoke, not in words, but impressions. A data burst, a vision. She saw Earth's future, triumphant, terrible. Humanity had expanded, mastered wormholes, bent stars to will, but in their hunger they had opened something not meant to be touched, the fold, a thin veil between timelines, and in piercing it they had unstitched the fabric that kept causality whole. Time collapsed. The galaxy unraveled. Whole civilizations never existed, their histories swallowed before birth. The Arcani were the first to fade, then the Rinth, then humanity itself. In the final days, Earth's last minds devised one act of redemption, to send back a warning, a living fragment of the future, to land not in history, but just before the mistake. It took 1,000 years to make. It cost the last of Earth's energy, but they succeeded. The seed was that message. Its existence fractured the fold further. It couldn't last long, but it had arrived. At the precise moment when humanity still had a choice. Back aboard the Vengeance, Anya stood in silence. Her crew waited. Vector hovered in the datasphere, processing 1,000 petabytes of signal. "What now?" Reyes asked. She didn't answer. Instead, she uploaded the seed's data Earth's Council. Not the weapon specs, not the visions, the message. And then she did something no one expected. She ordered the Vengeance to stand down, to return. "No retaliation?" Reyes asked. "No countermeasures? Not even an analysis team?" Anya shook her head. This wasn't an enemy. It was us, begging ourselves to stop. To stop what? Everything. To stop thinking we're unbreakable. To stop acting like gods. To remember that the universe doesn't owe us a future. We have to choose it. Earth changed. Not overnight, but permanently. The military screamed for answers. Scientists demanded to dissect the seed. Politicians tried to spin it, but humanity listened. They slowed expansion, focused inward, rebuilt Antares not as a colony, but a monument. They established the Order of the Fold, a neutral organization dedicated to preserving temporal balance. They taught restraint alongside ambition. We still built, we still reached, but we never forgot. And when other species asked why humanity, once so loud and hungry, had become careful, almost reverent, we told them the truth. We saw our own grave, and then we stepped away from it. Because in the end, that's what made us different. Not our weapons, not our will, our memory. Humanity doesn't surrender, but we learn. And sometimes that's the loudest F yeah the universe will ever hear.